API, Application Programming Interface, makes the developer job easier as he can get the ready-made functionality. Consider you want to build a map in your website for easy navigation. If you really start building this from scratch, it will take a lot of time. In this case, API helps the website developer. So he just call the API which is exposed by other organizations like Google. The proper data is passed like message body, header, etc. while calling the API. These details are defined in the API specification. For each API call, the organization charges certain amount of money. This is defined in the contract between API consumer and the provider. Let me explain about one of the Twitter APIs. Suppose you want to check how many followers you are having in Twitter. For this, you need to log into Twitter. But consider you want add this functionality to your application. In this case, your application can't log into the Twitter as you did. To do this, your application needs provider API to get the data. Twitter has exposed this API and shared the details. You can find the details in developer.twitter.com. Though this is having n number of APIs, you can choose the desired API for you. In our scenario, we will choose api.twitter.com/1.1/followers/list. It will give the list of followers. When we call this API passing proper data, we will get the list of followers. The response will be in JSON format. We need to pass and display it in our app properly. If you see this diagram, application A calls the Twitter API. So here from application we have a function called getFollowersList. So it passes the user ID, password and other required details to the Twitter API. Twitter API validates this request and respond back with the JSON. The JSON will contain list of followers list here. So once the application A receives this message, it will parse and response will be displayed in a proper format, desired format to the user. So this is one of the example using Twitter. Like other banks, other organization, they exposed so many APIs for the other applications. So they can call these APIs with the proper credentials, authorization, then get the details if they want. This will help both provider and the consumer. The consumer will get the ready-made functionality and the provider, they can get the money for the service they're providing to the other users.